really understand why they were changing until I started to learn this program. And I remember at one point I was trying to get my horse to do something and it wasn't working. This is my first clinic, by the way. It wasn't working. And Pat had been teaching us about the look of the lion and the look of the lamb, right? So the look of the lion is like you're a brood mare and you're saying you need to move that part of your body. And the look of the lamb is when they look at you and you're like, oh, I love sweetie, right? And so I'm trying to get my horse to do something. And Pat said to me, so are you doing the look of the lion or the lamb? He said, if I can't tell, how does your horse even know? He said, a lot of people around horses are just really stoic and static. And yet body language is how horses communicate with each other. So you, instead of using your voice, which is what people do, you need to start learning how to be really clear with your body language. And when you start going to liberty, is when you start to realize how good your online has been. And it's not about being online, it's about I'm going to keep my horse on a line until I become a good enough, clear enough communicator and leader for my horse. So let's see if I can play those same games that Pat was talking about at Liberty. This is the friendly game. And we start Liberty at the end of level 2. Oh, there we go. We start Liberty at the end of level 2. And go on in 3 and 4 to get quite advanced. So I'm going to show you about level 3, 4 today. Hopefully it goes nicely. So the friendly game, where my horse is not afraid of me or my toys, because even though we're using sticks, we're not using them for fear. We're using them to be able to match our horse's body length and mass. Because we're just little vertical poles. And we're not shaped anything like a horse, but we're going to try and communicate with the horse if they are a horse. So, now I'm going to be able to move my horse with my fingertips. And I'm going to move around. This is porcupine game that Pat was showing you. And you want to be able to move every part of your horse with your fingers, with contact, and have it be like you're moving a little rubber ducky in your bathtub. Not like you're trying to push a car with 4 flat tires. But often that's how it starts. When you first go to start using these games on the horse, you start to realize all the things that are not operating. And moving your horse might feel like moving this thing, because your horse is pushing into pressure instead of learning how to yield from pressure. And you can see that as you take us through all 4 areas of standing. So then I want to be able to drive my horse. Can I drive him backwards? Can I drive him front end way? Didn't want to go that far. But now, can I drive his hind end way and get him to come back to me? See, I don't mind my horse leaving as long as he comes back, right? So all of this is driving game. Now, what about doing again? Can I get him back up? Okay, he's a little worried. Still on a little bit of adrenaline, that's okay. I'm not going to get mad. I'm just going to repeat. There we go. Oh, and then we're gone. So I'll just repeat. See, this is where part of our philosophy is you don't just start getting mad at horses, because guess what? They're not going to come back. And everyone's going to make mistakes. You get mad at them when they make a mistake, then they're going to get more afraid. There we go. All right, there. And then come back to me. Hello, my horse. Come on. Oh, we're going to come on now. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, that's game number 4. Game number 5 is the circling game. And instead of having a rope on my horse, as I was saying earlier, now I've got a round track. And in the beginning, we start with a round pen. Just a 50 foot is usually a good size. Sometimes you have one smaller, sometimes bigger. You might change direction just because he's a little bit nervous. But the idea is that I want him now to circle me while I stand here doing nothing. Pat talked earlier about lunging, how people are just like telling the horse, you better go, you better go, you better keep going, like we have no brain. And what we really want you to understand through our program is how smart horses are and how good a teacher we then need to become to bring out that smartness. He came back before I asked him to pass away. So now, let's do the sideways again. So all of these, if you've been practicing online and not really using the line, then when it comes to liberty, it's not that big a leap. But the idea then is that you can do a lot of things and advance your gains in every way. You're not a jumper, so don't try to be like it. Oh, so sideways squeeze, sideways. And this is just the alphabet. Because once I have the alphabet going, then I can build words, sentences, and all kinds of things. Like what if, for instance, I wanted to lead my horse backwards by the tail? Could he understand that? Could he understand how to yield to that pressure? And would I know how to teach him or support him if, like today, he had a little bit of trouble getting started? And people would say to me, because I came from a farm and I'm learning to do all this stuff with my horse, and they see me doing all this funky stuff that no one had ever seen before. And they go, why are you doing that? What's that got to do with dressage? And I say, well, it's going to help me communicate better with my horse. It's teaching me about body language. It's making relationships between us stronger. And they go, well, yeah, great, but what's that got to do with dressage? How's that going to help? Well, I tried to make it make sense, but I started to realize that people didn't really care. They just thought I was doing something different, and they didn't get it. And I wasn't very good at explaining it. And one day, I remember the first day that I learned to lead my horse backwards by the tail. And then I'm leading my horse backwards by the tail. This is my runaway horse that I couldn't control, not 1 year earlier. And this lady comes by and she just stands and looks, and I thought, well, maybe now she'll be impressed. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, that's cool, but what's that got to do with dressage? And I went, I don't care! This is cool! You try doing that! So then, the great thing is that Pat teaches us now how to put all those things together so that we don't just keep telling our horses to do their ABCs and say the alphabet over and over again. We start to teach them really cool stuff. And even though this is an English horse, he's bred for dressage, one day we'll be Spanish for she's practicing. Oh. Oh, you're too wild. Let's do it this way. And one day, we'll get to where he needs to be. A cutting horse. And so, doing all these things, this is just the beginning that I'm teaching him now. He's only done this about half a dozen times. He's a striking cutting horse. Oh! And you can see we're already working on the spins, right? That's his favorite thing, though. And then in the circle again, we do things like change direction without jump, please. We're a little bit in control here. So I'm going to have to work on his behavior a little bit here. While he's doing this, get him a little bit more focused. That was better. That one. Yeah, I was in the back of your head, right? Because look at his lips there, like, oh, slowly. And see, these are the kinds of things that used to frustrate me in the past. Good decision. That used to frustrate me in the past, but now I can see things from the horse's point of view, and I understand what they know, and I understand what they don't Good boy. Good boy. And we'll come back to you. And so there's lots of things that we can do to play within here. And then the goal is that you can get out of here. Now, he's still a little bit wired, but I'll still take him out because he'll have fun watching it all. They're coming back. So, I don't think it's about being perfect. I think